And we're back for another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's the Lakers Postgame, everyone. Appreciate you joining us. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from the Lakers Fast Break Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcast, plus also as well Inside Sports Fantasy Football. Looking to record an episode tomorrow with the guys from Inside Sports Fantasy Football covering this weekend's NFL playoffs. So go ahead and check that out. Inside Sports Fantasy Football. Plus also as well, check out Joe Soro as Ox 1947. You know, the guys at Lakers Ball are happy, so go ahead and check out what Ox 1947 has to say right there at LakersBall.com. He will be on later tonight with Jamie Sweet, a.k.a. Yami Sweet, a.k.a. Admiral Akbar, at 11 p.m. for Nightcap with Joe Soro. That's Lakers Nightcap with Joe Soro on tonight at 11 p.m. Plus also as well, of course, he has a company, Simblades with a Y.com. Of course, also as well, our good friends at Lakerholics.com. Laker Tom, the number one Lakers blogger that's out there, and Jamie Sweet. Go ahead and check out what they're talking about at Lakerholics.com. Plus our good friends, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, Lakers in 5, Larry Lakers Dribbling Chit Chat, Lakers Corner, and of course as well, right there for you, go ahead and check out Empire Jeff TV and the John McCallion channel. Please go ahead and subscribe, support any which way you can. Right there for you. And speaking of subscribing, please subscribe today. Like and follow as well so you get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break podcast. Well, the Lakers came into a primetime game, 10th place in the Western Conference, 20-21. What would happen as the Dallas Mavericks, who've been playing okay lately, not as well as their great start, but still very effective enough to be ahead of the Lakers in the Western Conference standings? What would happen when they visited the friendly confines of the Crypt in Los Angeles? The Lakers coming off that good victory against Oklahoma City, looking to rebound, looking to get back to 500. And it was a back and forth first half. The Lakers did manage to keep a small lead at halftime, but it was the early start of the third quarter and the third quarter in general where the Lakers asserted their dominance, especially with Anthony Davis, 1 assist shy of a triple-double. Excellent game for him. LeBron James chipped in as well. So great game by everyone all around, but mainly it was the defense. The defense on Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving especially, 4 of 16 for him, only 12 points. The Dallas Mavericks, 27% shooting from beyond the arc. The Lakers shot 42% from beyond the arc on 28 tries. They actually made one more three than the Dallas Mavericks. And with 53% shooting overall, the Lakers just kicked it into overdrive in the third quarter with a 42-27 third quarter. And then also as well, they just basically put into cruise control in the fourth quarter to go ahead for an easy 127-110 victory. Not quite the 30-point victory Doobie had predicted, but still a very good victory nonetheless. The Lakers are now 21-21 in the Western Conference. Their standing is still 10th place right now. They're still 9 games out of the lead. But here today to go ahead and tell you everything that you need to know about what's going on and this new old starting lineup, which was the key reason in the third quarter for the big push, is a good man indeed. He is the madman from Toronto. He did spearhead our playback.tv coverage. Plus, he was, along with Rich True, the great part of our pregame coverage as well. It is the Magic Man, Sean Grice. Sean, great to have you here. Your man in the control board on StreamYard for the first time. I heard a cherry popping, I think was what I thought you read in the comments there. But when it comes right down to it, whether it's hot lawyers, whether it's documentaries, whether whatever you're talking about a playback, it's always good because when the conversation flows like that, it knows it's an easy game for us because I can always tell when we're having a comfortable game because the conversations on playback flow that much better. And with the way the Lakers played in that third quarter and dusted off the Mavs, it certainly was an easy game indeed.
Absolutely, Gerald. The only calamitous aspects we have to deal with playback are those gnarly trolls that rear their ugly head every once in a while. In
Yes, and we quickly got rid of him. We do apologize for any inconvenience on that. Those trolls, they
Gerald,
get in
just
somehow.
dust them off. Just
Low end
dust.
troll, be just easily flicked it away, and yes, now to go bother someone else on another day.
So, Gerald, I'll have to kind of configure the stats for the season. I think this is the first time where you had at least three Lakers score more than 25 points a game. You had three Lakers who had more than 5 assists per game, and you had three Lakers who hit a fair amount of threes tonight. LeBron, AD, D'Lo, and Austin Reeves were the four best players tonight. Um, Austin was the lone player not in the 20-point plateau. That being said, Austin was very effective facilitating Gerald. D'Lo was hot from three, so Austin really didn't have to worry about his shot tonight. Basically, just played his basic game, and it worked out. AD came within a single assist of a triple double. LeBron played an effective in and out game. And again, D'Lo was that third scorer tonight. So overall, I think this was the Lakers' most balanced offensive effort that we've seen probably in about 6 to 8 weeks. Um, while I think the OKC win was a little bit more impressive,
Hmm.
this one was kind of wire to wire. I believe the Mavs led 13-11 at one point.
But they stayed and closed the gap to 2 points at the half. But it was that third quarter outburst from the Lakers. It started immediately upon the third quarter jump, and it just tell you what, it was really good to see them. Remember last year, third quarter ineffective all year long, all season long. That was our bugaboo. This time around, third quarter, Ham got the team. You know what? You got to give it credit to Ham because somehow he got these players to be inspired enough to go ahead and take advantage of it. Whether you want to credit the new old lineup, which means it's the one that he used at the beginning of the season that he's come back to again. If you want to credit that, you want to credit Darvin Ham or whatever credit you want to give, they came out strong in a third quarter and never looked back.
Never looked back. No, it was great. Great adjustments made at halftime. Gerald, this might have been the most uh, quiet, quelled triple double that Luka Doncic has ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was coming off missing 3 games due to injury. That being said, relatively ineffective for somebody who scored almost 35 points because no one, other than Maxi Kleba, every once in a while, nobody else could really hit a 3-point shot for them. This is a make or miss league. Dallas missed a lot tonight, and unlike the last time we played them, we didn't have to hear Dante Exum's name over and over and over and over again. Just like I was dreading that. I was telling Dante in playback that it almost felt like the Candyman reference or Beetlejuice hearing Exum's name, but relatively ineffective for the Mavs tonight, Gerald, and it it was a fortuitous effort defensively. Um, I'm not sure. Again, Gerald, we talked about it the last game, right? It's to me, it seems like I'm not sure if Vando's just figured it out because now he feels like perfectly healthy and he understands his role and basically how to commit both offensively and defensively. But he's playing very, very well. This is the best he's played all year. Um, and quite frankly, he's rendering Cam Reddish kind of redundant. I think at this point in time, even with his threat of being some like a 3-point shooter, which I use it loosely, it looks like Vando has turned Cam Reddish into a redundancy on this team, and that's fantastic as far as I'm concerned, because the resource allocation this past off season was in Vando heavily, not Cam Reddish. So Vando should be the one who's excelling in his role, and I think he should start. I think I think you should just for him playing this well, he should be starting.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 127 to 110. They're now 21 and 21 on the season, still 10th place in the Western Conference, but also here today. Good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check out what he's doing today at Clutch Talk, plus also Lakers Corner as well, wherever you get your podcast. It is John Costa. And John, great to have you here. Truly appreciate it. I want to ask you this. When it comes to what you're seeing with the Lakers, past couple games, they were able to go ahead and, especially in that third quarter, tighten it up defensively, and was able to go ahead and correlate to the offense. Plus, for once, they got some decent shooting. Now, mind you, I'm not going to continue to count on this decent shooting, but the one thing you can count on is a little bit more energy, a little bit more physicality. They did have less offensive rebounding problems today in regards to that. And it all led up to a dominant third quarter and a cruise to a victory for the Los Angeles Lakers tonight, John.
Yes, yes. What a great win for Lakers Nation. I'm not gonna lie, guys. There's some games where when I watch Lakers games, and I'm at the edge of my seat, because we get a run, they get a run, we get a run, they get a run. But this game, from the beginning, the confidence that I seen in Anthony Davis and the confidence that I just felt in this team after that first quarter was like, I wasn't really worried. I think that the Doc Rivers said it on the broadcast. He said, any runs that the Dallas Mavericks puts together, we're not really worried about, because we have an answer for quite literally everything that they did tonight. So great win for us. I'm very, very happy. I love when I have those wins when throughout the whole game I'm not up and down, up and down, up and down. Loved how dominant Anthony Davis was. And the crazy thing is, and we said it a lot, it's like, and on the broadcast, Doc Rivers is talking about how he has a favorable matchup against Derek Lively. Anthony Davis has a favorable matchup against almost every big in the league besides Jokic and Embiid. So realistically, these are the type of things we should be expecting from AD on a nightly basis. But I want to talk about my guy D'Lo. My guy D'Lo right here, as a matter of fact. This is his jersey from his rookie season. I've been rocking with him. You guys know on me on here, and the people that know constantly.
President of the D'Angelo Russell fan club.
Yes, sir.
You notice those hands when he's not doing well, they seem to go lower, but when he's doing well, they seem to go higher.
No. You know what? I'm fair.
I'm kidding.
I'm fair with D'Lo. When he deserves the hate, and when he's doing wrong, I give that to him. But I don't overextend it like I feel like a lot of Lakers Nation do. But man, I'm happy that I stood on business and I stayed with D'Angelo Russell, because his offensive production has been great as of late. And Magic Man, we talked about this last time we were on the stream, when we talked about how when you're a player and you feel like your job is at risk because trade deadline's approaching, you shouldn't shy away from the pressure. You should now play 10x better than what you were doing. And that's exactly what D'Lo's been doing. This game goes for 29. Last game, 14. Game before that, 39. Game before that, 19. Game before that, 14. Game before that, 16, 11, 15. So the offensive production, and that's exactly what people, ridicule D'Lo for, is the lack of offensive production. He's been able to give us that. He's been that extremely great playmaker, which I've never doubted him once for. There's been time where I said I think he needs to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more confident out there as that playmaker, but I never once doubted him as that playmaker. And I'm just happy, man. I'm just really happy. This is a great Lakers win. I'm trying to fight myself from getting too high, because we've seen with this Lakers team, you can't get too high or you can't get too low. But great game tonight. Took care of the ball, shot well, got big contributions from the other guys. And biggest thing of all, guys, LeBron James played less minutes than his age. Only played 33. Only played 33 minutes. That is gotta be a win for us, guys. 25-8. AD finishes with 28-12. I love it, guys. I'm super love it.
It was actually asked in the chat by Alan, is this the best coached game this year for Darvin Ham? It's difficult to say because obviously you loved what they did against Oklahoma City, and they did provide a defensive lockdown there. The shooting was up for us, Magic Man. I'd probably say just because of third quarter adjustments, because with the way they closed out that first half, it didn't look great, even though they held a slim lead over the Dallas Mavericks. But despite the fact that Dallas had all the momentum going into that second half, the Lakers found the adjustments that they needed to make with that starting lineup, the old new starting lineup in place, and were able to go ahead and with those adjustments Ham made, got to give him credit. We give him credit. We certainly are there on him when he does wrong, but he did right. He did the adjustments. He made the moves necessary, and the Lakers executed well in that third quarter, Magic Man.
Absolutely, Gerald. We have to give kudos where kudos is due. We give flowers when they're deserved. Absolutely. So he gets some tulips tonight for a job well done. I like the start. I like the starting five. Obviously, he made appropriate rotational adjustments. I like that he actually in this game. I actually like that he mixed it up. He put Vandalorian on Doncic, but then he was comfortable putting Prince on him. And the switch mode that teams try and flirt with, especially with Reeves. Ham's adjusted in the past week or so, Gerald, which is good to see. And Austin's actually responded well. I thought he fronted well, even when there were switches, and he did his best to just be a body in front of, use his length. Like Austin played fundamentally good defense, and the switch mode stuff. They've really done a good job of honing in on exactly how Austin can be effective in those situations. And he played overall a really good game. So kudos to Darvin Ham. Did he outcoach Jason Kidd tonight? I know that's not saying much given his Jason
Our
Kidd.
friends at We Talk Mavs will say he did.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And not to mention the fact that whenever Dwight Powell has to play more than 5 minutes a game, the Mavs are in a lot of trouble. I've seen
Poor
I've
Dwight
seen
Powell. He'll just never get a break.
I've seen 2x4s that
Not
that
saying I
provide.
disagree. I just said poor
Yeah,
Dwight
well,
Powell.
yeah, I've seen 2x4s or aluminum poles who put up more resistance than Dwight Powell right now. So, uh, kudos to him. Great job. I mean, the bench was kind of sketchy as far as putting the ball in the hole, but overall, that the unit played well in the minutes they were playing. I think Rui's still kind of adjusting to his role game to game. But that being said, Gerald, almost a wire to wire win. You'll take it. And by the way, Johnny brought up a great point about D'Lo. Since his name has been in the rumor mill, he's been playing balls out, like literally, like
Well,
we
no,
talk
this game also
well,
conveniently. Remember,
we talk about it, right, Gerald? It's
okay.
the pressure cooker. So pressure either bursts pipes or creates diamonds. And the past 6 games, Dealer's been playing like a gem.
A
Yeah,
diamond.
he's been playing like a diamond, brother. Absolutely. 20 points per game. He's averaging over 5.5 assists, and he's shooting nearly 45% from 3. So again, D'Lo ain't the problem with this team. D'Lo ain't the problem. D'Lo is playing his butt off. Didn't require a lot of help defense, Gerald. Which I also liked the scheme there. Let Luka go 1-on-1. If he beats you, he beats you. But I mean, again, this was like the quietest 30 plus triple double I've seen somebody get in a really long time. He's minus 15. So for all the accolades and highfalutin reputation that he has as this virtuoso and driving kick, I mean, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has, to me, lapped him as far as being the. And me and Johnny talked about this last time. I think he's just lapped him as far as being the best driving kick player. Personally, I'm not really threatened by anybody else on the Mavs other than Kyrie shooting a three. So I mean, if he wants to go 1-on-1, all for it, brother. Go, because it's going to lead to a Mavs loss 9 times out of 10.
Man.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is John Costa from Clutch Doc and Lakers Corner. Also as well, Magic Man Sean Grice. Truly appreciate you watching and listening. It's Gerald Glasser right here for you. The Lakers do win 127-110. They're 21-21. Of course, 10th place still in the Western Conference. John, being that you are the president of the D-Lo fan club, we are forgetting, though, one thing. Remember, about a week ago, a little over a week ago, when this came about, he was mired in about 15 to 17 minutes a game, coming off the bench, wasn't talking to the press, wasn't talking to reporters. Obviously, something happened behind the scenes that facilitated first him getting more minutes off the bench than ultimately getting back in that starting lineup, because whatever it is that was told to him, or somebody was by him, by Ham, his agent, Pelinka, whoever, somebody after that second time he did a no-show in front of reporters, something must have happened where, you know what, it lit a fire under his ass and was able to go ahead and make sure that he is playing a whole lot better right now.
You know what? I think what happened was, and I can't confirm this because I wasn't there myself, but I feel like what happened was he was acting up because wasn't playing well, and then
he wasn't getting time either.
There you go. Right. He wasn't playing well, but also wasn't being able to play through his mistakes. And a player like that, he needs to feel the ball, feel the game, and be able to play through his mistakes. And he wasn't getting the time to do that. And that's something that he couldn't control. That's all on Darvin Ham. So he's getting all pissy, not talking to press, doing all this, doing all that. And I think what happened was the Lakers as a whole were just reaching rock bottom when we were on that losing streak. Darvin Ham's feeling the pressure of the whole world, so Darvin Ham's got to figure out something to do. He's tried to go away from D'Lo. Clearly, that wasn't working because we were going on the losing skit. And then, the best thing about being at rock bottom is, you can only go up from here. We can only try something different, and it has to be better than this because we're at rock bottom. And I think that was a good timing, a good timing culmination with D'Lo being told probably by his agent and by the Lakers front office, like, yo, buddy, like, you're not that guy to where you could just be acting up and not talking to press and hurting your stock as a player and be playing bad. You gotta, if you're gonna be playing bad, then you better be out here serving the youth, going to charity, feeding the homeless. You better be doing all that. But if you're gonna be, if you're gonna ball out, then I guess you have that leeway to do that. But I think D'Lo, it was a good culmination of Darvin Ham figuring out, like, man, I have nowhere else to go. I got to give those minutes to D'Lo. And D'Lo at the time was like, whew, I might be out of a job. Let me start getting some buckets. And that's exactly what happened, to be honest.
Magic Man, when it comes right down to it, the Lakers have now put together 2 in a row. They're still quite a ways looking up in the Western Conference. Still have a lot of work ahead of them. We just don't want to go ahead and start, counting down the wins. I know Alice says we're back, baby, and of course also as well, Doobie says 5 to 8 game winning streak. I'm putting one game in front of the other. Right now is still time to go ahead and finish out this homestand strong, Magic Man. So what are you looking for as far as what the Lakers can still do during the rest of this homestand, which includes coming up here in just a little bit? That they've got Brooklyn on Friday, Portland on Sunday. These are 2 under 500 teams, Magic Man. Before they go against the Clippers, they stay in LA, but they're at the Clippers and then home against Chicago. 3 of these 4 teams are under 500. There is absolutely no excuse why they can't go 3-1 in their next 4 games.
100%, Gerald. And I will say, Dante was the one who said that we need a 5 to 8.
Oh, Dante, yes, yeah, Dante. Sorry,
yeah, we need a short stack win streak minimum, Gerald. 100% agreed. I will say this. Those 2 games you got to win. Style, you know what? When it comes to win streaks, I don't give a rat crap about style points. Just count the victories and put them in a can because we're gonna need them later on. And look, we've won 4 of 6. So you win those 2, all of a sudden Lakers have won 6 of 8, kind of quelled a lot of the hubbub and the rough talk going on. Look, we roughnecked it for a while, just based on injuries and the cohesion issues. Now all of a sudden, you're cooking with peanut oil, so you gotta keep that momentum going. But I personally would hammer home to Ham that you need to start Vando. You start Vando. Look, we respect Torian Prince when he plays an allotted amount of time, anywhere from like 22 to 28 minutes. You fit him in there. He could be effective as, a defender. He could be effective as a 3-point shooter. Anything after that, we get the Jello flamingo legs. He looked very tired in that first half already, Gerald, after playing 17 minutes. I just think
He looked exhausted, but
he
again,
did. He did. But
Magic Man, it's not. I don't even know why. With all due respect, my friend, it's not going to happen because as long as the Lakers win, they're not going to change. Ham does not change things when it comes to wins. When they
Coach,
win,
disciple.
yeah, it's like, okay, I don't want to mess with it. This 9-man rotation's working. The starting lineup's working. We beat Dallas and Oklahoma, who are 2 teams above us in the Western Conference. He is not going to change a thing, no matter how much we think of Torian Prince.
And that's the issue, though, because
yeah,
earlier in the season, what started working was Cam Reddish, and the whole world was loving Cam Reddish, and we were winning some games. And then Darvin Ham just got absolutely married to it. And I feel like something I've said a lot of times on the show here is like we can't have one fixed lineup. Like, we just cannot have one fixed lineup. We have to have players who all have that next man up mentality, ready to go. Because every night is going to be a different lineup. Like, we need to run a different lineup versus the Magic, versus the Mavs than we do versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, because it's just 2 completely different matchups, and that's all the game really comes down to, in my opinion. So.
and Gerald, I'm not one to throw out like like these mindless cliches and these idioms, but 2 come to mind. Okay, fatigue makes cowards of us all, and we've seen that happens to Torian Prince. That's the playbook on him. You play him more than 30 minutes, he's an ineffective shooter. He's an ineffective defender. He's just a NBA basketball player that with jello legs out there. And second is comfort. Comfort is the enemy of progress, Gerald. It really is. Like, when you get too comfortable, you become lackadaisical. You become a little less hard-minded. You get a little soft, and that's not what we need. We need balls to the wall, heavy, heavy, heavy on team play. And I just think that Vando is the better of the 2 options between him and Torian Prince in that situation. At the same time, the Podfather is right. Darvin Ham is stubborn like a mule. And I'm not sure if there's an animal more stubborn than a mule, but if there is, let's use that one to compare Darvin Ham to. Vando should start. Like, Vando should start. That should be just beaten into his head. Vando should start. Vando should start. Like, that's what the crypt crowd should be chanting. We want Vando. We want Vando. That's what they should be saying.
That's what they should be saying. So I ask you this, John, and once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 127 to 110. I think the key for the Lakers is 2 players. and they're on Dallas. And Frank mentioned one of them earlier in the chat here. Tim Hardaway Jr., 5 of 17, 0 for 7 from behind the three, and Kyrie Irving, 4 of 16, 1 of 5 behind the three. Those two guys combined 9 for 33 and 1 of 12 from behind the arc. That's your game, my friend. That is where your game is. The Lakers had a game plan to go at those guys, and they did get some open looks, but just could never find the rhythm. And the Lakers, the way they played defense against those two guys today was, I believe, the key to the victory. Doncic scored anytime he decided not to shoot a three. Anytime he decided to go ahead and drive, he dusted off whoever was guarding, whether it was Vando, whether it was Prince, whether it was Christie. Yeah, just never really got anything as far as any problems when he went inside. But when he shot outside, he had an issue. But those two guys, Tim Hardaway Jr. and also as well, when it comes right down to it as well, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Kyrie Irving having bad games was the key to a Lakers victory tonight.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm right there with you. I think that Tim Hardaway, and sorry if there's some crying in the back. My daughter is taking a shower.
Is she mad that Dallas lost?
Oh man, she does not like taking a shower, and her mom's giving her a shower right now.
Okay, all right.
I'll be honest. So, but she's a Lakers fan. So she watches all the Lakers game with me. But let me talk about this. And to answer your question, clearly, both Kyrie and Tim Hardaway had a bad shooting night. Both shot at 29% or worse from the field, which is horrendous, especially for a player like Kyrie, who's one of the best finishers around the rim. And in basketball, there's some nights you're on, some nights you're off, and this was clearly an off night for Tim Hardaway, Kyrie, and just the Mavs as a whole. They shot 11 of 40 from the 3-point line for a terrible 27% from the 3-point line. And the issue is that a lot of teams in this league live and die by that 3-pointer. You either live by it or you die by it. And I think the great teams are able to recognize that, the way the game is going. And the Lakers struggle at doing this a lot of times, actually, is saying like, okay, today our 3-pointers is not hitting. Today we're not hitting. Let's go inside. Let's try something else. The Dallas Mavericks, they didn't do that. They decided to live and die by that 3. They ended up dying. But credit to our defense, though. And like how you said, Gerald, it has to be credit to our defense. Kyrie is a great finisher, and he got up a lot of shots. And you just have to credit the work that we did early on him, making it tough for him to come off those screens, just really giving him any space out there. I think we did a good job at that. And hey, man, whether it's a bad shooting night or not, a win is a win. So I'm taking it whether Kyrie had 12 points or whether Kyrie had 50 points.
Frank, I know you're a much bigger follower of Dallas, and you're saying that this was not the outlier and that the good games are. Magic Man, he had come into the game, Tim Hardaway Jr., his last 3 games, he was averaging about 30 points a game. So to have him cool off, and again, he is a distinctly hot and cold player. He is absolutely the definition of streaky in this league. And to have him, what Frank says is what, I guess, to him, more that for the norm for him with his kind of day today, after coming off 3 really good games, I think that's a win for the Lakers. And again, obviously, the way they played defense against him and Irving, to me, was where the key was at when it comes to how they won the game, or in that third quarter, at least.
Yes, I agree, Gerald. Very, very, very different player than his father. I was a huge Tim Hardaway Sr. fan. Tim Hardaway Jr., aka lukewarm, because that's what you get pretty much from game to game. It's he's either hot nor cold.
He can shoot you in a game, and he can shoot you out of a game.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and when it comes to the playoffs, he will definitely shoot you out of a game. Regular season, Podfather's right. He could shoot you into a game, shoot you out of a game. But yeah, he was very, very quiet tonight. But again, I found the individual defense, the man-to-man drill, that was much more um trying to find the right word, conditioned. Like
Mhm.
the Lakers players really didn't get out of sync at all. They were all kind of on a rope. I The drop coverage was actually decent tonight, especially given the fact that nobody could hit a three. So AD was allowed to hit the boards pretty good. Uh, th- that team go. It's almost as if like Luka Doncic really reminds me of kind of um, doing trying to make chicken salad out of what it is, especially with Kyrie. Like I on the best of days, Kyrie is an unpredictable force on the court, let alone
Mhm.
off it. And despite the fact that he is shooting a season high from three, they just can't seem to get a foothold on any kind of consistency themselves. The win 4 or 5, then they'll lose 4 or 7. And they're just like we're talking us right now. We're mid. I mean, they're just a bit above mid, and Tim Hardaway Jr. needs to step up for them in the same way that the Lakers need, D'Angelo Russell or an Austin Reeves to step up in that role when AD and LeBron are humming along, and he's just not getting the help, Gerald. He's just not getting the help, and a lot of that is on him, and a lot of it is on soggy bread and water, aka Jason Kidd.
Magic
Go ahead.
Man, real quick to add to that, I love that you said that. And, I've been a Lakers fan for tw- I mean, I'm 24, so I've been a Lakers fan for like honestly, legitimately, and like seriously been watching like 10 plus years. I was a Lakers fan when I was a child, but I wasn't dissecting the game as a child. But for these last 10 years of probably haven't missed one game, been locked in. Um, so now I'm used to it, right? But it's so annoying about how other teams in the league that just aren't as big as a market as the Lakers will be having the same type of struggles, the same type of mediocrity, but they won't get half the attention. Like how I love the point that you brought up of how if we're mid, what are the Dallas Mavericks? Look at Doc Rivers brought it up on the broadcast. They have the number one different amount of lineups that they've ran out there so far this season. If we're struggling with continuity, they're struggling with continuity. But it's frustrating. And Gerald, I'm sorry to to take it. I just had to say that because
No,
it
why? By all means.
it was a great point about you, Magic Man, because I'm tired of that, and whatever, I'm used to it at this point. But let's just let's call it a spade a spade. Like if the Lakers are messing up right here, okay, that's fine. But let's also call it when the Dallas Mavericks are messing up right here, or when the Charlotte Hornets are messing up right here. So I mean, I just had to add that little rant, get that off my chest, to be honest.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 127 to 110. They are 21 and 21, back to 500, still 10th place in the Western Conference. Magic Man, the attention turns to Friday right now, where the Lakers still, again, home games. They've got to finish off this homestand strong before they play the Clippers, you know, on the Clippers home court coming up here. They're playing against Brooklyn, a team they should defeat. They should get the best of them because Brooklyn is already engaged in their West Coast trip. What are your thoughts about Brooklyn when they match up and how they match up against the Lakers coming up on Friday, a team that has seen better days?
They have seen better days, Gerald. They've been dealing with some little bit of injury problems, a little bit of, just toggling between a really bad offense, even with Mikhail Bridges, and I just their defense could be just best described as a hodgepodge of crap. So the Lakers have it in them to just spank the bejesus out of them and send their red tail hides across the hall. Let them deal with the other team. No excuses whatsoever. They're coming in fragile. You need to take that Fabergé egg and just smash it against the wall. I don't have the same trepidation. I know that's a big word. I don't have the same trepidation that they're going to play down to their competition, because they've just proven to me in the past week that they can rise up to any opponent. They put their minds and their asses in gear, and this weekend should be a back to back win. You should double up the Nets and the Blazers. And Gerald, I have just read the wildest. I've been watching NBA basketball for well over 30 years. This is the wildest LeBron stat that anybody will actually come across. All right, I'm just about to pull it up here.
Go ahead, my friend.
Yep.
Anytime you're ready.
Okay, so go full screen there, Gerald. Can you read that stat, Gerald? That is absolutely mind-boggling.
I was looking at the McCrispy there for a second there. Sorry about
So
that.
LeBron James has played against 35% of all NBA players in NBA history. 35%. That's nearly almost 2/5 of the entire roster of the NBA history, Gerald. That's mind-boggling.
And that includes any 10 days and anybody that's one game, cup of coffee, whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
man, that's amazing.
35%, man. Like, I think the next closest was Robert Parrish, who was at like 22%.
Yeah,
So,
insane.
that is just mind-boggling. So, I mean, this man at 39 years old, still mind-boggling, breaking records. And yeah, Johnny was right. I mean,
because he was here for all the years of the expansion teams as well.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Yeah, that loops him in there. So some of like Robert Parrish and others didn't have that same luxury as far as being able to play against all.
No,
when
but
when they opened up in the 90s and whatnot. So, yeah.
Gerald, there's a great quote by the chairman of the board, Mr. Frank Sinatra. There's something to be said about longevity.
Absolutely. There it is indeed. Absolutely. But before we head on out, guys, it is the Lakers once again at 127 to 110. Thought I'd bring something interesting up again. I did during the playback, and that was something I heard from Bobby Marks earlier today on the Hoops Collective. He was on with Brian Windhorst on ESPN, and he talked about how the Lakers have some financial decisions to make. We make all these trade proposals that are out there. We need this guy and this guy, DeJounte Murray. We need this guy, need Capella, need Bogdanovich, need Kelly Olynyk, need insert player here. And it actually reminded me of what happened earlier today with the Pascal Siakam trade there, John. And I know that's a great point of emphasis for your show, Clutch Talk, in regards to the Pascal Siakam trade. Pascal Siakam was traded from Toronto to Indiana for a plethora of players, including Kira Lewis, Bruce Brown, I think Jordan Nwora, and 3 first-round draft picks. How does New Orleans get involved in all this? Well, I'll tell you why. Because Kira Lewis Jr. Was one of the players that Bobby Marks mentioned in regards to him being having a $5.7 million salary, which puts conveniently New Orleans just over the tax, something they've never done in their entire organizational career. So he manages the for just a second round pick and also $110,000 in cash, which is the minimum they can get back in return. They cannot just give them away for free. They have to take something back in return. So they got back $110,000 and a second round draft pick. So Kira Lewis Jr. goes away. And they're now going to be, as of now, unless they do something different, they're going to be under the tax. He also mentioned the Lakers as a possible team that might, with the right maneuvering, want to go or stay under the cap, thus avoiding the repeater tax, thus also possibly picking up as much as $14 million, depending on projections from teams that do go over the cap. So if they do stay under the cap, it's a financial windfall for the Buses family. So with that in mind, I don't know if they will do it or they won't do it, but that could certainly affect their outcome as far as what Rob Pelinka trades for or does not trade or does trade at the trade deadline, John.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. As a Lakers fan, and I feel like you guys are gonna feel me on this one. That is very concerning for me to hear, because you're basically telling me that the Bus family can either make an extra 14 mil or they can not make that extra 14 mil for them and try to actually put this in the team winning and maybe take a little bit of money out of their pocket to try to
I'm
help
just saying it's a possibility.
Absolutely.
They're in a position where they can do either. So it's a good position from that sense.
It is.
Rob, we bash him constantly for the job he's done, et cetera, et cetera. He has the one thing he has done, no matter how you like or dislike how this team is structured, he has put them in a position to be financially or fiscally viable. The word escapes me that you're saying, or fiscally sound, avoiding the repeater tax, I guess is the best way.
Fiduciary responsible, Daryl.
Yeah, something like that. If he wants to, if Jeannie Buss says that's what you have to do, if that's the edict, if that's the command. So if, we've talked about, this is the team that sent out for the PPP loan. This is the team that had the audacity to go ahead and take away Jerry West's season seats. So I'm not totally putting it out of the realm of possibility that they could go cheap at the trade deadline or find a trade that does keep them under that tax medium. I'm just putting that out there for everyone. So they have to understand when they come at me or come at us or drop these trades that could be a possible thinking there as far as that's concerned, John, because right now, if they do go over the tax, they would be in the repeater tax once again.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel concerned because the reason why I say concerned is because, like I've said this on multiple occasions, this team right now is not good enough to go win a championship, and I think that we need to go all in and do everything that we can to try to win a championship. And I think that what that would entail is bringing in a player. Now, I'm not saying,
and I support, let me just put it on this. If I think that the Lakers have a deal in place that could put them over the top or get them in that upper hierarchy like they did last year and take them to Western Conference Finals run, I would make those deals. I would sacrifice the millions, whatnot. But that's me. We don't know what's going on in the mind of the bean counters and as far as the guy is pushing the pencils up there at Lakers, hierarchy out there in El Segundo. We don't know what's going on in those offices right now, John.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We don't know. And if the final verdict and the final decision does come from Jeannie and, the Buss family, which I'm sure it will, that's the concerning part, because again, I'm not going to put my money on the line that they're going to take away 14 mil out of their pocket and to try to help and go into, like how you said, the repeater tax and put themselves in a tougher financial situation. Not tough, but you understand.
It's projected to be up to 14 million. That's how much for all the teams that would be currently in the tax as the season ended. They would have to remember they have to pay taxes to the league, and the league then disperses it out amongst the league, and then also the teams that went under the tax, as far as it's concerned. So the teams that went under the tax get a payout, and that's what is projected right now to be $14 million for each team that is under the tax, unless something goes totally awry during the trade deadline. So
I got you. Yeah. No, I mean, I feel that same way. I feel concerned because I know that we need a player to get to where I want to get to and get to where this team should be looking to get to, especially when you got a 39-year-old LeBron James playing at this level, a healthy Anthony Davis. Like, come on, guys. Like, let's go all in. Even if that means repeater tax, even if that means I got to take some more money out of my pocket as this multi-billion-dollar family. Like, so, but, to answer your news, it's concerning. It is very concerning because I think,
and Scarlett says they are hard capped, which is true, but they are in a position where they can go ahead and avoid the repeater tax, which would put them, like I said, in that position of saving money, which again, I'm sure it's on Genie's mind, no matter how much we try to like to say it's not.
Yeah, it is. Magic Man, what's up, man?
Yeah, man. So there's been a little bit of traction. A couple people are reporting this, but I don't want to go full bore with it being
It's
an
tough.
official rumor, because it's just scuttlebutt at this point. But there was some idea that the Lakers did offer the Hawks a package of D'Lo, JHS, and a 2029.
Isabel mentioned that earlier in the chat.
I
Yeah.
I don't think that's true personally. And then
Well, Atlanta
on top
GM would
of it,
probably say no to that.
yeah, because and then they'll come back and say, we want Austin Reeves. You know what you do at that point, Gerald?
Hmm.
Hit the red button. End.
Well, all you got to do is take a look at the JHS highlights. Oh wait, he doesn't play. Yeah, so that's probably gives you
Gerald.
Yeah, so
Couldn't resist.
again, when I look at these trades, Magic Man, you have to look at them as much as we love to look everything through Laker Tom purple and gold shades. You have to look at it from the other aspect. What does it do for that other team? Why do that? It's like you're selling. Like you're selling a car.
I agree.
I want to sell you
Gerald.
this car. I've got to tell you why you want to buy this car.
No, 100%. The Podfather's right. I agree in that instance. You know what D'Lo is, and a first-round pick, sure. What the hell is JHS? He's just like, it's just clay, Gerald. It's just clay. You don't even know what it is yet. It's just.
But hey, let me play.
Clay. And maybe somebody doesn't want your clay.
Yes. But what if? But the good thing about clay, though, Magic Man, is that if you mold it right, it can mold into something beautiful. If you mold it right, it can mold into something beautiful. But is Jalen Hoods-Confino even a good clay to where it could be molded into something beautiful? But that was a great analogy. I like that.
Yeah, I was just.
I mean, you could get his South Bay League highlights.
I'd be worried, that with JHS right now, you need a lot of welders to mold that clay into something right now.
What was the comment that was said on the previous show? I think yesterday. I think he's 2 years away from being 2 years away. The famous Fran Fraschilla line. Yes, 2 years away from being 2 years away.
Yeah, Gerald. That started with Bruno Caboclo.
Yes, who actually was in the league for way longer than I ever thought he would be in this league. It's based off that statement, because I watched that draft live when he said that, and I'm like, yeah, the kid's gone. But man, 7 years later, he was still in the league. I was just like,
Bruno's still 2 years away. He's been in the league 7 years.
Yeah, and he was still looking like he was 2 years away from being 2 years away.
Shout out to Bruno Caboclo.
Yes, absolutely. He's playing somewhere in Europe, I would imagine, or something like that. Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 127-110. They are 21-21. They are still 10th place in the Western Conference. We'll be back later on tonight with Lakers Nightcap with Joe Soro. His guest is scheduled to be none other than Yami Sweet, Admiral Akbar. Jamie Sweet from Lakerholics.com. Hopefully you'll check out Joe Soro's thoughts tonight as he drinks the nightcap tonight, while I'll be busy editing for this for audio. If you guys on audio that listen to this on audio do want Joe's nightcaps sent the next day to audio, let me know. I just don't want to flood the channel, since we have shows every day with a whole bunch of stuff you may or may not be able to catch up and listen to. So if you do listen on audio, Henry Hill and if some others, let me know about the first episode that they wanted, and I put that there for audio. So let me know if you do want it on audio. Please message me or hit me up, LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. Scarlet Blue says, oh, great. So Joe is drunk again. Well, he tells you he's like Captain America. He doesn't get drunk. So he had some Hennessy last night, I believe, on the show. So definitely looking forward to that. But before we head on out, John, truly appreciate and value your time here as well. Please go ahead and check out Lakers Corner and Clutch Talk. But before you go ahead and give the hard pitch to everyone, one more time on why they need to like and subscribe to your channel, Please let us know your thoughts and final thoughts on today's game and where the Lakers can take the momentum of a whopping 2-game win streak and where they can go from here. And big shout out to Andy for liking our video. Truly appreciate you doing so on Facebook.
Absolutely, absolutely. Happy to be here as always. And what we got to do, guys, I'm not gonna lie, we gotta keep it rolling. We got to keep it rolling on all cylinders. Darvin Ham, he has to not be married next game. If if the Brooklyn Nets come out with a different lineup and the matchups are gonna cause a problem for this classic lineup we've been running with, don't be scared to go do something. Don't be scared to adapt. Like how we said, don't just be so stubborn. Don't be so hard headed. As far as player wise, D'Lo, I think he's got to be the X factor because I mean we can count on Anthony Davis being there. Of course, Anthony Davis is the biggest X factor of this team when he's defensively sound. When he's defensively sound almost every game, but when he's a defensive menace, when he's often killing the glass, when he's going crazy offensively, of course that is the biggest X factor for us. But I think that's a constant. We should expect that. D'Lo, as of late, he's been stepping up. I said it earlier, 29, 14, 39, 19, 14, 16, 11, 15. Those are the last couple games. So I'm expecting that to continue to be rolling. I'm going to want at least 15 plus from D'Lo. And I mean, shoot, the best case scenario is D'Lo has another crazy, 20, 25 point game, 10 assists, and LeBron doesn't have to play, 35 minutes any more than 35 minutes. That's the best case. But I think me sitting here asking for that is too wishful thinking. So what I'll say is the biggest thing is Darvin Ham has got to continue to be, quick to adapt, not be married to any lineups, not be married to not any one thing, because this league is about matchups. D'Lo, he's got to keep being an X factor for us, got to keep being that third scorer. And Anthony Davis, we know what he does. LeBron James, we know what he does. So that's what we got to do. And then as far as me and everything you can check out for everything that I got going on, I do got the Lakers Corner YouTube channel. You guys can go check that out. Go like my videos, comment, subscribe, bringing you all Lakers news. And then I also have another YouTube channel and also podcast. It's called Clutch Talk right here, right above me, bringing you all NBA news, not just strictly Lakers news. I'm bringing you all talking about all the NBA. Drop 2 episodes per week, 1 weekly recap, and then 1 episode is a little bit more targeted towards a certain team. So appreciate you guys having me on. I absolutely love this post game. Look forward to it after every Lakers game. And I'll be here for the next game and appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Great to have you here as always. It is John Costa. Please go ahead and check him out today at Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner indeed. Magic Man, we're closing in on 1,300 subs, and we truly appreciate every single one of them. But any last thoughts, my friend, before we head on out?
Actually, yeah, Gerald. Torian Prince getting in foul trouble is actually a really good, tangible strategy for this team.
He seems to always be the one getting into foul trouble.
Yeah, but the difference is now Darvin Ham knows to insert Vando right away. I mean, it took a while. It took a while, but it's almost as if in the land of the blind, the man with one eye is king. So at least he's finally found a tangible solution for that seemingly untenable problem that we had. And yes, I would put that in really block letters on a whiteboard. Torian, get in foul trouble.
Okay. All right. I don't know if that's really the best advice I could give. Just Ham, play him less minutes. As Z says,
We know he's not going to do that either.
Yeah, play Rui a little bit more. Play LeBron a little bit less. Just a little bit less. Play Torian just a little bit less. Play Rui a little bit more. Can't hurt you more than it already is. I mean, Rui's been doing a pretty good job when he's out there. I don't understand why this guy can't see what we all see here at the Lakers Fast Break. It's just truly amazing indeed. But
well, it's almost as if you need to get the teacher's pet into detention every once in a while.
Well, Frank Vogel had Avery Bradley as his teacher's pet, and we were all talking, why is Bradley playing all the time?
Yeah,
Yada,
and then
yada,
his
yada.
teacher's pet the
Each
next year was
coach,
Wayne Ellington, for God's sake.
yeah, each coach has his like favorite guy, and you just don't understand why he's just getting that kind of minutes. So it's really always hard to figure out. But for
Cam
once,
Reddish, another one of those guys. For
yeah, Cam Reddish. Well, Cam Reddish, I think he wants Cam Reddish to return to the November Cam Reddish, when Cam Reddish was leading the league in steals, and then unfortunately Cam Reddish with his knees and his knee issues are not. That guy's not around right now because he's having some really bad knee issues. He's out for several games. We don't know how long he's going to be out, but it could be like a Gabe Vincent issue. Don't be surprised if it goes one way or the other, whether he gets back in the lineup or it goes south and he needs surgery.
Who knows? This could end up being like something like the Streisand effect, only we'll call it the Reddish effect,
Yes.
where he's out, yet we're more productive. We're actually winning. And when he comes back, Mr. Redundant needs to stay on the bench.
We'll see what happens. But once again, it is the Lakers 127 to 110. Sean and I will be back tomorrow with more great coverage right here for you at the Lakers Fast Break. But stay tuned at 11 p.m., just less than 2 hours away. It's time for your nightcap, the Lakers nightcap with Joe Soro. Scheduled guest is Jamie Sweet from Lakerholics.com. You know, he loves filling up with the nightlife and all that good stuff. He'll bring some good booze with him for a nightcap. So go ahead and check out what Joe Soro drinks later this evening on Lakers Nightcap with Joe Soro at 11 p.m. Pacific time. Well, once again, the Lakers do win 127 to 110. Big shout out to John Costa for being a great part of what we do. Always here at the Lakers Fast Break. You're becoming a regular, man. How does it feel? How does it feel?
It feels good. I love the community that we have over here. I love the Lakers Nation, and I just love talking to you guys, people that know ball and are Lakers fans, because sometimes it's tough talking to people who aren't Lakers fans because they seem to just hate on us at every chance that they get. But you guys are some intelligent people, knowledge. You got I like to call people who know ball they're ball knowers. So you guys know you're ball knowers and you're Lakers fans. I love it. I love the community. I love the chat. And I'm planning on sticking around as long as that's cool with you guys.
Absolutely. It's always cool with us, and great to have you part of what we're doing here. When you say Lakers Nation, this is the best part of Lakers Nation. It is the Lakers Fast Break Nation. Great to have you here, John. Great to have you here, Sean. And great to have everyone out there a part of what we're doing, especially when the Lakers win right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.